Hey, raping. What's up, Janet? Are we broadcasting dual band or whatever you wanted to do? Uh oh, I don't hear Janet. I wonder if it's me. Miles, you hear Janet?
No.
Janet, we'll have to try again, darling. Uh oh, she's blue dotting. Let's see. Remove from co-host. Okay. All right, we'll do that. Okay. Now, Janet, can I hear you?
Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Hey, there you are. There you
Yeah,
are.
I'm getting it set up right now. So, yep.
Okay, no worries. Miles, she's gonna simulcast us on her. Is it Rumble or YouTube?
Both and Kick.
Okay, okay, okay.
We're on all three.
Okie dokie. A threefer.
It's good. It's good I did my homework yesterday.
That is good. Now, guys and gals, we are on a road trip, just so you know. And fried apple pie, it's code for something, but I'm not sure what. So it's code though. Connect to McDonald's, all that good stuff.
So, do you know why McDonald's was brought up in the first place? A long time ago?
Because Trump likes McDonald's burgers.
No. What is the tinfoil hat stuff about McDonald's and what's in their burgers?
Oh, humans. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of almost impossible, considering the amount of McDonald's and the franchises. I mean, that would be a lot of bodies. So, and I'm sure they don't source their meat from. You can do a check on that. You can just ask whatever source you want. Where do they source their meat?
Uh, okay. I mean, I remember that kind of floating around that McDonald's is a disposal site kind of thing. So
And what were they saying about Ronald McDonald?
I don't remember that part.
What kind of shoes does he wear?
Oh, he's got red shoes on. Oh,
Yeah. Well,
and they're big red shoes. So yeah. Oh, Ronnie.
go ahead, Janet.
Yeah, Janet, go ahead. Yeah, they get their beef from abroad. Am I right? Okay. Well, yeah, all these fast food places are suspect. I mean, I hate it, but back years ago, I used to work, and I thought Wendy's was pretty good back then. I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything, but they actually patted the meat daily, um, and received unfrozen wherever the meat came from, unfrozen, like 20-pound bags of or 10-pound bags of meat, and there were two of them per carton, and we had to keep up with sales, and we had to estimate how many we were going to need plus like 20%. And I remember one night, for some reason, there was a big event across the street from the store I was working at, and there was so much influx of uh, you know customers that um, at the time I was like a assistant manager or whatever, so I was kind of a, hey, we need you to come help us kind of thing, as far as filling in employees. And back when they paid us on that Chinese overtime, where once you get to 40 hours, then you start making less and less every hour, but you made more up 40, and it all averaged out. So I didn't know any better. It's a job, something to do, but I had to come in and re-patty meat because we ran out. So yeah, we almost ran out of, in the refrigerator. To
Well, back in 1974, I worked at a garden center, and we used to go to lunch to Arby's, and you could actually see somebody on a meat slicer slicing the roast beef. So you knew that they had roast beef, not pressed meat. So it was actually really good back then in '74.
yeah,
But
yeah,
there,
that
th-
was,
oh, what's wrong with lab meat? Well, I mean, is it good or is it bad? I mean, no, Bill Gates is not making lab meat. You believe Bill Gates is going to waste his time making lab meat? No, no. There's all kind of different companies that they're not associated with Bill Gates at all. They're trying to make lab meat for like space travel and stuff like that. And it's funny. I was on. I call in on Above the Rabbit Hole. That's a pretty good show, guys. It's a comedy show out of Baltimore. But I called in there and we were talking about aliens, and I went, "Yeah, I, one of the question is what's with the anal probes?" And evidently, the Greys they don't have a butthole, so they don't have to defecate. So for some reason, they've perfected their food so they don't have to go to the bathroom. So maybe they were just curious about, well, what do you got that hole for?
woo.
That's my
Um,
brain. Look, we were talking about where the heart's located, and a lot of people they can't tell me where my heart's located. They don't think I have one.
um, has anybody seen the Fauci documents on mainstream news yet? Have they said anywhere anything?
Well, I was also, look, guys, I watch a lot of stuff. I'm pretty bored. So, Doses of Deception is another really good show by BB. BB McGuire does it. And she was explaining that Fauci can't be prosecuted for crimes against humanity in the United States because we're not associated with the World Court. So there is no legislation on the books, any crimes in the United States against crimes against humanity. So Fauci is not going to go down for that in the United States, even with his pardon, or we find out that pardon was bogus. So, and then lying again to Congress, he'll probably get, maybe 6 months or whatever. That's not a big deal either. There's only been a handful of people that have gone to jail for lying to Congress.
Well, how about his tax returns? Well, back to my question: has anybody seen anything on Fauci on mainstream TV or fake
No,
news? Okay, well, I just wondered if it had actually been out there. I think
I
Fox may have put a little bit.
yeah, I think it'll come out on Fox, but it'll probably be on
The
Gutfeld's
five,
show, The Five or something like that, on one of
well,
their comedy
the
shows.
five will, yeah, it'll show up there. I got a feeling.
Hey, thanks for having me up, American. Yeah, well, mainstream media are co-conspirators, because they promoted all of his stuff, knowing fully well that you know uh, that it was a plan. Their scripts are fed to them too, so it's in their best interest, their self-preservation, to not play it. But it's they're only it's myopic way to see things because they just dig the hole deeper for themselves.
All right, total transparency here, guys. We're channeling on Rumble, YouTube, and what other one, Janet? Kick. I never heard of Kick.
Yeah, they're fairly new. I downloaded redpilled.com. I like redpilled. The thing about Rumble right now, I'm not going to pay for a subscription to Rumble, and they're running like 3 and 4 minute commercials, and it's about pharma, about drugs, and I can't get rid of it. So that's kind of pissing me off. I don't like it. I don't like that. Of course they turn the sound down, but I got to wait 3 minutes to get back to the show. If I'm watching it on replay, if you're watching live, then they don't run commercials.
Well, I wonder if you can open YouTube and Rumble and start playing one on YouTube. And when you get the commercial, just turn the sound down and start watching the one and watch two simultaneously, and never see a commercial until you cut it off. Or
I
turn
could
the
run.
sound down.
I could run it through a third-party app. So I just don't want to set that all up on my TV. So
Yeah, I got you.
Cece put an interesting post in the back channel about a national emergency. There's always multiple national emergencies running constantly. They have been for years. So we may have to see Trump, do some stuff through a national emergency. I mean,
Well, now,
he's got a lot of Trump cards.
now I don't know, I haven't vetted this, but something I saw, and it was a guy talking about, he was giving us a number of executive orders that are out there, and it was like he threw out the number 400, and then he goes, but if you go on the White House website with executive orders, there's only 120, maybe something along those lines. So
Yeah, that was Derek Johnson that put that
okay,
out.
gotcha.
Go ahead, Harsh.
Yeah, he floated national emergency when he said for his reason for not for canceling the meeting with the at the Capitol today with Congress and the Senate, regarding the bill for housing, and he said he's not doing it until the national emergency of the SAVE Act is passed, and so national emergency is only one step from national emergency, and national emergency leads to uh, Article 2 of the United States Constitution, which gives broad authority exclusively to the executive branch. It was used by Lincoln to ignore Congress to get things done. And anybody who's worried about a stolen election, and we all believe here that the 2020 election is stolen. Trump has said going back to 16 or so, and every election since. And that is it is a national emergency, a national security issue for the United States, and he can render them moot. It's gonna, it's gonna be hot. People will get hot, of course, but that brings the military in if that's the route it goes. Certainly around election time, if we actually have elections. And so he's got, as I agree with you, American, he's got a lot of cards to play. I think that's the one he wants to play the least because the potential for violence on the streets. But even some people on our side want violence on the streets, and I certainly don't.
Yeah,
So
I got enough violence in New York.
Violence.
I got enough violence on the streets in New York every day.
So if our connection holds, you got to tell me. I'm going to need about 6 minutes to play something. And actually, I have two things to play. One's for like 2 minutes, one's for 6 minutes. The 6 minutes one is even though you don't have to watch the video, because they use cartoon characters to explain quantum computing. And this is quantum computing 101. But that was brought up just recently. We're going to start posting about Q. And what was that? Well, that was about quantum computing. And then Dan Scavino put out where we go one, we go Q, which is quantum. So I think when you listen to what they're talking about, think about the new financial system and think about election security, how they can use quantum technology, which I think they've had for a long time. I mean, we were talking about it in 2018, and I think they had it back in 2012 because of Looking Glass. They were using quantum back for Looking Glass. But so that's been like, 12 years to get the message out that, oh, we're going to start using quantum. They've had quantum for a long time. So,
Hey, just a random thought here. Saw a tweet from Melania Trump from 2003 that alluded to the Q. I think that's the way it went. Has anybody else seen that? Oh, there you go. Storm. That's what it was. Okay, who was that? Who was it, Janet? Oh, John. Okay. Yeah, he's a regular. He's a regular. So he might have gotten a phone call. Happens. Good deal. Well, Miles, I got 30 minutes of clean air. So if you want to play one or both, or one and then a little bit and then the other one. So however you want to do that.
I could play the short one, and there's just only one F-bomb right at the beginning, and Trump says that. So,
Okay.
but at the well, I don't think you won't be able to see the timestamps, but when it gets down to 21 seconds left in the video, that's when they talk about Ronald McDonald is go. It's go time, Ronald McDonald. And they're showing the queue with Trump and then also the military. So it's military code, Ronald McDonald.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to play it immediately here. I got to get set up.
Oh, I thought you were ready. My bad. No worries. No worries. Well, how do y'all like your fried apple pie? I tried one the other day. Our friend Jane suggested that fried apple pie and coffee was on the menu at McDonald's again. And lo and behold, they were like 2 days early with offering this stuff. It was supposed to be I want to think it was today it was supposed to be live, but it was at the McDonald's restaurant where I was driving, and I just pulled in. I hadn't been in one of those in, I don't know, 10 years. And the coffee was pretty good. I was surprised. And the apple pie was dynamite. But now Carol found out about it, so now I'm in hot water. So you know how it is.
Did you see what the ABC put out a video of?
No.
You didn't see the Ronald McDonald car, the shoe, driving down the
Wait a
road?
minute. Yeah, somebody put that out. Yeah, somebody put that out. Yeah. Yeah.
Remember on Air Force One that they had a picture of Elon, Trump, Don Jr., RFK Jr., and then they were sitting there having McDonald's. Remember that picture?
Well, they all gave a thumbs up or something.
I'm looking at the picture. I don't think they're giving the thumbs up. They're just smiling to the camera.
Oh, okay.
And
I
then
saw one.
Mike Johnson's hanging out in the background there, but they're on Air Force One having their McDonald's.
I thought one where their thumbs lined up made a Q somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's an older picture. Yep.
Okay. So Trump basically canceled his meeting today. A little shot over the bow, I assume, and continues to rack up conservative. Have y'all noticed the number of conservatives across the world who are winning elections after USAID was shut down? I've noticed that. Connection, I don't know, but sure
Okay,
is interesting.
I'm queued up.
Okay.
It's a
Ready?
minute.
Okay.
It's a minute video.
You'll notice if you fuck around with us, if you do something bad to us, we are going to do things to you that have never been done before. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. 2024 is our final battle. They stole our jobs and they plundered our wealth. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots. The activation word, Ronald McDonald. We will drive out the globalists. All patriots. We will cast out the communists. America will start winning again. Winning like never before. We will bring back our jobs. We will bring back our borders. And we will bring back our dreams.
Take a look at this massive.
Did you hear it when he said Ronald McDonald was activation code?
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. All right.
It's either an activation code or it's a fake. So yeah, one way or the other. Something's going on. I just wonder if they've gotten to the bottom of the fraud out there in California. I've been seeing lots of reporting, but Alvarez, have they locked up your neighbor yet? He's still he's in the planning stage right now for the Greg Allman show. They did a documentary on Greg Allman, and it's being produced and put out. So he's working on getting to one of those shows. So great guy, Greg Allman, great guy. I found some in YouTube Wonderland. Found some old documentaries and stuff, you know, where they were in the studio back in the 70s. And I mean, those guys could do it in one take. None of this adjustment. They just go, all right, here's what we're doing, and bam, there it is. Yeah.
Well, you know, I met Greg before he passed on. My daughter, she got me tickets to, it was an evening with Greg Allman in Santa Monica, down a little walk-in theater. He was promoting his book and loved it. You should have seen the blonde on his arm. Unbelievable. And then,
I bet.
then there was a meet and greet afterwards, you know, signing books and stuff. You weren't supposed to bring anything other than a book. Of course, people ignored that. They brought in guitars and all kinds of stuff, you know, for him to sign. And my daughter, Jessica, which is the name of an Allman Brothers song written by Dickie Betts. Anyway, she said, "Hey, Greg, my dad named me and my sister after Allman Brothers songs." He said, "Really? Which one?" He said, "Well, my older sister, her name is Melissa. Of course, Greg wrote that one, you know." So he smiled, and then he said, "Well, what about you?" She said, "Well, I'm Jessica, written by Dickie Betts, and I got ripped off. My song's an instrumental." And he laughed. He thought that was funny. So it was a great evening.
That's good. That is good stuff.
I ever get back to Macon, that's on the agenda chart. I'm going to go pay him and Dwayne a visit, and you know, go to Capricorn, and you know, me and Osceola had some big plans, you know. So one day.
Yeah. Well, I'm not too far from Macon. If we can get the dates down, if you're gonna be in town, I've never done that trip. So
Yeah, well, you know, Little Richard's from there too, so I want to go see Little Richard's birthplace, and then H&H soul food joint that fed the Allman Brothers band back when they were starving. You know, they got some great food. Osceola said it was really, really, really good. So, and then they got the big house. There's like a Victorian type house where the band lived, for several years. So yeah, it's going to be my Allman Brothers pilgrimage.
Oh man, that'd be fun. That would be fun. And down home cooking like that, yeah. Um, there are a bunch of places that do that, but some of them are so special. Some are just okay. So, but I bet that was good stuff. And if they've got a lot of patronage, then it's probably a good indication their food's like above grade. So,
Yeah, lots of pictures, lots of tribute stuff from the band to the gal that I've forgotten her name now, man. That owns the H&H, but they credited her with feeding them back in the early days, when times were rough, So
yeah, I got you. I got you.
hey, hi Janet. Hey, we got this little trip planned later in 2027, last week of April, and I was thinking about you. We're going to be going to Laughlin, staying at the Harris Beach Resort. Rooms are really, really, really reasonable. It's got a private beach, a pool right alongside of the Colorado River. And what you have to do is you got to fly into Vegas, and either there's a shuttle that's available. So if that interests you at all, it'd be nice to meet you. Lots to do. There's not going to be any kind of formal, there's not going to be any MC. Everybody gets to do whatever they want to do, but the water's great. Got jet skis are right there available. Think about it. The last week of April 25th is check-in. It's a Sunday, and check-out is April the 30th. So it's the last week of April. It will be warm, but it won't. All the rates are discounted, and so we've got some ideas about the North Tower. We're looking for the North Tower with the river view rooms, and you'd be amazed how beautiful it all is. I will. Oh my God, fantastic! Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Go ahead, Miles.
Were you here when Bantam was talking about her new job?
Steve Bannon.
Oh, Bantam girl. She's in the chat.
Oh, no, no.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
if she takes a mic, I'll ask her if I can talk about what she DM'd me. I'm not going to say
Oh,
anything because it was a private
she's waving
DM.
at you. Yeah, she's waving at you. So I don't know what that means.
Well, look, I think she's kind of on a small level. She's doing what Doge did
Oh, okay.
on an independent, smaller level.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, doing audits. That's what she
That's
did with
good.
the gov. Yeah. So she decided to go back to work and help us out. She helps us out anyway, but um, she's requesting. I just don't want to talk about certain things in a private DM.
Oh yeah, I get you. I get you. Go ahead, Janet. All right. Sounds
Did you
good.
say?
Thank you, Janet.
Did you say troll races? I should sign up.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Was a synonym for toad, Miles?
Well,
Okay.
I am a prince.
All right. Let's see what Bantam's got. Go ahead, Bantam.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me speak. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Sounds good.
Um, I see some people are speaking and it shows their speaker is off. So I don't know, how, hopefully you can hear me good. But anyway, yeah, Miles, did you want me to tell American what I was doing? I'm on a tear today. You sure?
No, yes, I do. I want you to tell them, and I'm glad you're on a tear because there's times that you've kind of been like, I don't know if anything's going to happen, and we need to go on a tear right now because things are happening.
Yeah, like I was telling Miles, okay. I'm a retired CPA. I retired from the federal government during all that vaccine crap, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I sat out for 4 years and I watched what was going on. And anyway, there's a huge a deficit need for CPAs auditing federal and state grants. And so I'm partnering with a CPA firm to start their audit side of grant auditing. It's a whole different arm of the firm. And you might have remembered me saying before I was a huge data analytics person. Obviously not on the level of Doge, but now that AI is available, I've played with it and I know how much analysis it can do and help. And it increases efficiency at our level. The CPAs that have critical thinking skills, it has 1,000-fold efficiency level in auditing. All those tasks, that grunt work of what you got to find, you put in the parameters and you will look at it. Now you've got to review it and you've got to understand what you're looking at, but it does most of the work without having me sit there with Excel or some advanced data analytics program, do an analysis and trying to find problems. You put in the frame, it'll find it, which is just fascinating to me. So I'm getting back in. I'm doing my certified professional, continuing professional education to get my CPA back active and then start bidding on jobs, on requests for proposals for grant audits. So that's
That's
what I'm
good.
doing. So it's like a mini
Yeah.
Doge kind of thing at the level. The management load that goes along with these audit reports puts CPAs in a bind because they have to now issue positive assurance against fraud. Normal audit reports are negative assurance, saying we'll look for it. If we find it, we'll report it, but it's not our main focus. With this, it's your main focus. So
So
that's
you're looking for
fascinating.
people, yeah, you using the system for them personal kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different fraud schemes out there under these grants. That's what I'm doing my CPE on. It's like, oh my word, there is so much that could happen. I just never realized because I was in a different area and I knew the fraud there, but it was so controlled and it was somewhat hard to get away with, even though they still did it. And the contractors I worked on still did labor charge mischarging and got fined and people got arrested, that whole 9 yards, even at the upper levels where the government like me was in there watching them every day.
So
So
my question to you is, can I talk about JJ Cafaro?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. He was a contractor. He's a felon. Now, it
Mhm.
was a while ago, right?
Yeah, and what was it? 2002 to 12 or something. There was two occurrences.
Yeah. Did he get a big contract recently?
Yeah, he did.
Some kind of pool contract?
Mhm.
Is it a big pool?
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Does it reflect anything?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
But
So what was my answer to you? Did you read that?
I did, but it was a question, not an answer.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, did Trump work with some nefarious contractors in New York when he was
Mhm.
building stuff?
Of course.
Okay.
I mean, it's I don't know. I'm not saying that I am a Trump fan, but it's like the same stuff happens no matter who you have in there. It's just, is he letting everybody else make money too while they do it? Which in this case, yes.
Well, you don't like those.
In my industry specifically,
Well, you don't
I
like,
can make a ton of money because there is so much fraud.
right, but you don't like sole bids, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sole source bids are questionable. Period. I mean, as an auditor, I go, "Oh, really? Okay, I need a ton more documentation on that. Oh, you don't have it? Oh, you've got to go back and recreate it. Okay, there you go. That happened 80% of the time.
We're not making any allegations here, guys. We're just being transparent.
Auditors are skeptical. Period. That's my job. So when things kind of line up, you go, well, could be, but maybe not. It's just it's just sole source bidding is highly questionable. When you're at a shipbuilder, you can understand that, but when you're, other situations, not so much.
Go ahead, Harsh.
Yeah, I'm intrigued with this conversation. I just followed you, Bantam. My name's John, and I come from Arthur Anderson and Price Waterhouse ages ago, and I was one of two people sent by Price Waterhouse to work at Cravath, Swain and Moore, a big New York City law firm. And our project was taking down Michael Milken and Drexel Burnham Lambert during a scheme where they cheated all the savings and loans by uh, stealing equity warrants and leaving the junk with the Texas oilmen that didn't know anything about finance. And they did it through process of 600 investment partnerships that funneled down into 6 trusts, 3 for Michael Milken's children and 3 for Lowell, his brother's children. And that was a lot of work, a lot of 24, 36-hour days. And it was just months and months. It pretty much wore me out. But it was tremendous experience. And then I ended up owning a company where I crossed paths with lots of criminals, let's put it that way. And after that, I decided to work with an investigation firm where I looked after insurance fraud, and that's led me to everything I've learned in the last 9 years about the fraud on our country. Difference between us, I come strictly from a tax background, and the critical analysis part is why I was sent there. And I love what you're doing, and maybe I'll reach out to see if there's any way I could lend some of my experience or contacts to your efforts. So thank you for bringing it up. Certainly intrigued me.
Look, this is an
Wonderful.
important topic because we can't move forward into being sovereign or having a new financial system if the remainders of the corruption and crimes are still lingering in the shadows. So I think that's another reason why they said we're going to quantum, and we have to be number one in quantum, number one in AI, because I think the main goal is to stop crime on the upper echelon level with the RICO. There's always going to be people fighting in bars and stuff and petty theft, but this is all to straighten out the fraud and the big fraudsters. Let's put it that way.
All right, Bantam, you had some more?
No, I just wanted to thank the speaker about that. I'll friend you, I'll follow you, and we can do some follow up discussions. But yeah, I got discouraged when I was at the federal government working for Defense Contract Audit Agency, which is the CPA firm for for DoD, now DoW. And I audited shipbuilders, and I got discouraged when you see that you find a huge violation, like a cost accounting standard with how grant money is supposed to be presented and incur cost. And anyway, they just end up getting more contracts to cover the cost. That's how it works. National security, there's not that many shipbuilders. And you're like, okay, when you come to that realization and that, you have all kinds of, connected relationships, husband, wife, between contractor and the Navy shipyard, stuff like that, that just, you get discouraged when nothing is ever done, and or they allow them to keep going, and okay, we'll fine them. Maybe somebody will get arrested because there was rigging. I got really discouraged and I retired. But now I'm like on the other side, and I'm like, okay, I can do my part and try and at least present it in some kind of way, at whatever level that I'm able to do. So there you go.
How we doing on good signal time?
Oh, probably another 45 minutes before I hit that bad spot.
Oh, okay, we got plenty of time because
Yeah.
we have a good
But let me fill in real quick about quantum. I've been reading this thing now. I don't know what this is, but it's something I've been reading. And the gist of it is that normal AI isn't sophisticated enough. I'm gonna call it sophisticated, but isn't fast enough, I guess you'd say, to break passcodes. And what I'm reading about is that this quantum is sophisticated enough to break passcodes on any system. And that's one of the biggest things that the people doing bad things are worried about. Any comments on that?
Well, okay, in this video, there is a section that they're going to talk about encryption and
Okay.
how.
Let Bantam answer. I think she was talking about that. So, and then we'll go to that video.
I'm sorry, I was going to mention something else.
No, I'm not going to
Um,
play the video. I just want to tell you that quantum computers can encrypt stuff that the bad guys can't break into. Be very difficult. Not that they can't, but it'd be very, very difficult to break into certain uh, encrypted codes and they can. It's fast enough to keep changing it. So if they have an alarm go off that someone's trying to break in and hack, then it can keep changing it so they can't hack in. The video will explain that.
Let's go back to Bantam. She had something. So go ahead, Bantam. Whatever
I
it
was
is.
Just real quick, I just wanted to mention how close human trafficking came to what I worked in. Major shipbuilder, the next level subcontractor had human trafficking, trailers, taking their passport, the whole 9 yards. Oh, and by the way, an executive at the major shipbuilder went to work for the subcontractor. So it's like, it's all connected. And it's like, that blew my mind when that happened when I was working at DCAA.
Hey, Bantam, did you ever um, do anything with the container companies that worked with the
No,
shipping?
I
Okay, because
never touched that. That never came into play. This was, subcontractors who were building ship parts.
Gulf Tainer is we followed them a long time ago because that was Saddam Hussein's nuclear dude. He was on the 52 deck card. He became one of the CEOs of Gulf Tainer. So
All right, let's see hands. Let's go to Janet, and then we'll go to Alvarez.
It was a documentary.
yeah, that was a
All right,
long time ago, guys.
go ahead, Alvarez.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys had seen the LGBT certification for California bidding projects. Clearly illegal, because it's not supposed to be based on that sort of thing. But I'm just wondering, where does fiduciary responsibility come in here, man? We've got state controllers that just carte blanche, just write the check, write the check, write the check. We were waiting for months to hear from IG Horowitz, Inspector General. They come back, they give all kinds of, but nothing ever gets done, And so, and then lastly, Obama, I think you guys saw how he stiffed a bunch of black contractors. It was a black business owned only, and he stiffed his own people. So at the end of the day, I don't know how we can legislate morality. It's a character flaw that exists in here. I mean, you can write every law that you want. They'll hire brainiacs to figure a way around it, how they'll say it doesn't apply. But yeah, here in California, $635 million of state contracts, but you have to go through a certification process to prove that you're gay. I mean, how sick.
All right, go ahead, Harsh.
Yeah, I was just going to say to that. Believe it was Alvarez that was speaking. You got to remember, other than Trump, every president since Bush #1, who I think coined the phrase New World Order, has been on the same critical path of diminishing the United States, oppressing its people, Patriot Act under his son. Uh, every op that goes against us was to get us to, give up our sovereignty and be run by a globalist authoritarianship, if you will. And so they coddled, they were in charge of what the DOJ looked after. And so they would ignore stuff because it was, helping to feed their cause. And that's my 2 cents.
Okay, Janet, you still got your hand up?
That was Obamacare.
Well, how long before we get a Truth Social post that says you have to pass it to see what's in it? Go ahead, Alvarez.
Yeah, I'm sure that Bantam has been a very thoughtful and thorough and professional CPA, and Lord knows we need our CPAs. And when you talk to them, they understand the meaning behind the phrase fiduciary duty, which is supposed to be the most stringent duty that anybody has, and that's managing other people's money. Isn't it interesting that there seems to be some kind of an invisible wall? Everybody below that wall is mandated to deal with and keep fiduciary responsibilities, but above that wall. So, I mean, it's time for us to quit ignoring the wall. I mean, one definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Until we can see some people in ankle shackles, this isn't going to change, folks. I mean, and it's really an ancient story. The elites throughout history have always been this way. The rules don't apply to them. They just apply.
Well, you have to start naming some names. Stop just saying them. Who do you want arrested?
What the hell are you to break in on my conversation, bud? Keep some decorum, right? I don't have to name any names from you. We got plenty of names. You name some names. You're so cocksure yourself. There's fiduciary.
The DOJ comes out every day and tells you they're arresting people.
Fiduciary duties that people have. I'll give you another one, like the SEC. Bernie Madoff, who killed more Jews than Hitler, with financial. He was in charge of the SEC. When are we going to see some financial responsibility? And if you interrupt me again, you and I are going to have a problem. Keep this space decorum. You got me?
Okay.
All right, Rodney King.
All right.
Rodney King. Come on, guys. Can't we all just get along? Hey, we get along.
Yeah, we can get along.
We're talking about fried apple pie, guys. And it's a code word, and I'm not sure what it's for. But Jane uttered that phrase a couple of days ago, just before the Department of Defense put a code in Ronald McDonald. So Jane knew something. I assume. I don't know. Go ahead, Bantam.
I don't have my hand up. Is it showing up?
No, I just wanted to call on you. I like hearing your voice.
Yeah, I don't know about that whole code word thing. It's quite interesting. But I did wanted to mention back that, as I'm doing my continuing professional education, there's a lot of cases that I was not aware of. So there is a lot that happens that we just don't read about or just aren't aware of, even in our own area. So I did want to mention that I go, oh wow, I didn't know they arrested them on the I just had no idea because you just can't read everything.
Yeah, and disclaimer here, guys, we are live on YouTube, Rumble, and Kick. Was that the name of that third one? That's a new one to me, but anyway, Janet's throwing us live over there, so welcome in, guys. We do have a little etiquette in this room, and we ask you to raise your hand if you want to speak, and we try to have order of who's wanting to speak first and so on. So please don't interrupt. Let people express their whatever they're saying, and you're welcome to put your hand up and come back and explain your version of what they're talking about. So that's fine. But anyway, guys, we're just talking about fried apple pie and what code that is, out there. Has anybody got anything there? I mean, Jane started it, so I drank the coffee, so I guess that's like the Kool-Aid or something. Go ahead, Jane.
I guess I stand accused of something. I don't know what it stands for, but I know that the activation code word is Ronald McDonald, and that was put out by Elon Musk a while back. And that really kind of odd video he put out. And the White House, I think it was the White House or Trump, one of them, put out the same video or retruthed it or retweeted it or whatever. But there's been some interesting McDonald's comms, like when President Trump was running for president, there was that scene on Trump Force One where he was sitting down with Elon and RFK Jr. and they all had McDonald's and Scavino, and they all had McDonald's in front of them. And Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, was in the other row looking over their shoulders, like he was not at the table. But that was one of them, and that came out after the activation code thing. And then there's been several things with McDonald's where he worked at the McDonald's drive-through for a shift or whatever, and then more recently there was the series of pictures of Ronald McDonald somewhere in, I believe it was Arizona, and he was sitting on a bench looking over someplace, and I'm not sure which town or city it was, but there were several pictures of him from different angles in that same area. And then the other day, about a week ago, or maybe 10, 15 days ago, they put out that they were going to restart their fried apple pies, which for years they did fried apple pies. Then they stopped. They changed it to baked apple pies, which were nowhere near as good. And then they put out just recently that they were going to restart their fried apple pies on the 23rd, which I don't know exactly what it's communicating, but I think it's communicating something. McDonald's is being used as a communication, kind of like when we see dog comms, kind of like the penguin comms that came across. There's different meanings for those things, different people they're signaling, I guess. ABC News had a big thing the other day. There was a giant car that was shaped like Ronald McDonald's shoe. It was a big red shoe car driving down the road somewhere, and ABC News made sure to feature that on Twitter. So there's been all these different comms, and I'm not sure who they're all for, but I know that after the comms come through, it seems like there's a little bit of an acceleration or a shift in something, whether it's the fraud investigations or the negotiations with Iran, or the Supreme Court coming out and saying, we can stop you at the border and send you back, and you don't have to have, show a lot of evidence anymore. I mean, stuff like that. It just seems like these things are kind of I can't talk. I need more coffee. Coincidental. And we all know there's no such thing as a coincidence. So, and I will tell you that I ordered the fried apple pie the other day. I told American about it, and he ordered it too. But you got to let it cool down.
Whoa.
What?
Care about that. So got to be kind of quiet about that.
Say what? You were breaking up.
You're quiet about the apple pie and all, because Carol will get on me.
Oh, sorry. Well, I ate it. Bob didn't eat it that I know of. I was not there to witness anything of the sort. But I did eat it, and but I let it cool down because it is about volcanic in temperature when you get it, and it was very good. And I drove past that McDonald's today, and I did not let myself go in, Carol, because I'm trying to be a very good girl. And there's a church supper tonight, and I made apple pie for the church supper, and I dare not eat somebody else's apple pie while I'm making apple pie for everybody else. So there's certain rules that you got to kind of do with when you're cooking for a church supper. But tomorrow when I go by there, it's going to be another story.
Now, Jane, there's transparency here. So now,
yes, sir.
Go ahead and tell the truth. You went to McDonald's, you bought 12 fried apple pies, and you took them out of the package. You put them in your own package. Go ahead and tell them.
No, I'll send you a picture of the apple pie I made. But I did think about it. I'll be honest. I thought if I just went to McDonald's and ordered 20 fried apple pies and took them to church, people would love it. And I almost did that because I didn't want to cook yesterday. But I thought, well, I bought the apples, I bought the pie crust, I've got the pie shell, the pie plate. I mean, I better just do this. But I came pretty close to that. And now for transparency's sake, when I ordered my fried apple pie the other morning. I ordered 2 senior coffees and 2 fried apple pies, and I had that all gone within that day. But I didn't just stop at one. I knew if I stopped at one, I'd be driving back out there, and I didn't want to drive twice that day. So that's my honest truth. And and I had a fillet of fish, double meat, no cheese, because that ain't cheese.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, let's go back to Bantam, and then we'll go to these other hands. Go ahead, Bantam.
Okay, so on the fried apple pie, I wanted to mention, okay, so we're saying that's a com from a military source or whatever, Department of Defense, let's say. Okay, so the government is everything is acronyms. Think of it as an acronym, FAP. Let's see what, is there anything in the dictionary, I mean, in the word meanings that could mean something like that, something similar.
That's very intriguing. That's very
So
intriguing.
think of it as an acronym. It may not be anything. Apple pie. I had my phone messed up there for a minute. Anyway, so you might their first one there was interesting. I'm not going to repeat it, but anyway, just think of it like that too. There may be things that pop up with acronyms for the words they're using.
All right, good stuff. Go ahead, Miles.
Yeah, this is a little off topic. Rubber Duck had an interesting space yesterday. So, um, I don't really consider myself an anon, more of a truth teller. And even if I wear a tinfoil hat, and some things become true, some things don't. Um, but I saw a lot of people jumping in there and going, I'm an anon and I've been doing this and I'm going to get my card. So I wanted to ask Jane, I saw your card, looks really interesting. I don't need a card. I'm not in this battle or war for any recognition at all. I don't care. I mean, I just want to win. I mean, I was kind of like that on the football field when I played football. I never celebrated. It was my job to score touchdowns and get yards, so we could try to get a touchdown. So that was just my job, and I didn't even think anything else about it. So this is just my job. It was an interesting space. A lot of people came up and were celebrating that they were some kind of a non. So are you an anon, Jane?
So 2 things. I just looked up FAP, and it is a military program, family advocacy program, War Department program designed to address child abuse and neglect, domestic abuse, and problematic sexual abuse. So that was interesting. Second, yes, I'm an anon. And I'm glad to be. I found in 2017 the news and everything going on in the world was so distressing and confusing, and I was in a place where I didn't understand a lot. I knew things were really, really bad and really, really wrong, but I didn't understand a whole lot because I was still kind of brainwashed. So in October of 2017, in a place of like, I've got to figure it out. Somebody out there's got to know what's going on. I actually started going to the Chans, 4chan. And I happened to do that in late October, and that happened to be the first Q drop, and I happened to find it. Now, all of these things are very circumstantial, and we know there's no such thing as circumstance, but it set off a spark in me of learning how to question not only what I knew and what I understood, but what I had been taught and what I was perceiving. So yes, I'm an anon. I'm not good at research. One of my strengths is I'm pretty good with memory and connecting dots. Not always accurate. I don't claim to be. But yes, I am an anon, and I'm very glad to be, because it taught me the Q drops and hanging out with the other anons and hanging out with the autists and hanging out with the people on the chans and the politically incorrect board and stuff like that. I learned to lurk more. I learned to question everything. It sharpened my discernment. It definitely sharpened my prayer life, because when you realize that, when I realized, I'm not going to put this on you, when I realized how little I actually understood and how badly I had been deceived, it brought me a great deal of humility. And I started to really pray, God, why didn't I see this? Why didn't I understand this? And it was very hard to grapple with. Um, so yes, I am an anon, and if that's somehow makes you think that I'm in it for my own glory or anything, that's incorrect. Um, and when I saw Stoic Plumber's baseball card thingies, um, I immediately put a comment, I would love to have one, because I saw that as being something to encourage people. We've been doing this. Some people have been doing this their whole lives. I've been doing this for 10 years. And frankly, you get tired, you get discouraged. And, something that tells me we remember the people that have died, like Wales Warrior, the lady that was on the bridge all the time up in Chicago with her signs. Like all the people that have not survived any of this stuff. Joe M. Isn't the real Joe M anymore. I don't know if he's still alive or not. His wife used to post and she stopped posting too, so I don't know if she's alive or not. War News has disappeared, but she's still around, I think. Um, Sacred Blue Tent is gone. She's passed. I mean, there's just, we've stood together through thick and thin, and it's nice to look back. It's good to look back and know that we have endured something, because the psychological warfare that's been propagated on us and against us and trying to divide us all the time. And you look back and you say, you know what? There's this core group of people, and we don't always agree, because we're human, but we always seek the truth. And I'm very, very glad to be there. So if you see that as some kind of a negative because you think I'm trying to gain glory or whatever, you're wrong. And I'll just leave it there. And yeah, that I'll leave it there.
All right, Janet. All right. Thank you, Janet. And Divide, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Can you hear me all right? I'm out taking a little walk.
Oh, yeah, you're good. You're good.
Well, for the Q thing, and that's anybody in the room. Well, I got 3 questions. First off, Janet, you bring up a really good point. The White House came out and basically attached quantum to the Q movement, which I always thought it was. You got to ask yourself some questions. Was the vaccine mentioned in any of the Q posts? Can anybody verify that? Was COVID?
I don't believe the vaccine was ever mentioned in any Q post. I can't remember about COVID, but the
Right.
vaccine
So
itself, I don't believe so. The researchers on the Q boards talked about it, but I don't believe anything came directly from Q.
right. So my opinion on that whole thing is that it was developed. The whole thing was laid out on a timeline developed by quantum computing, right? And they're literally telling you that's what it is. So when I saw these anons over the years come out with these intricate connection points, like this time stamp to this and this and this, like I think what they're doing is they're creating the puzzle, they're putting it out there in society, and then they're going to see if people can figure it out. And if they can't figure it out, they have operatives that go undercover as anons on these social media websites, and they lay out the answer if the majority of the population can't figure it out. That's what I think is happening. But I wanted to ask you guys if all the criminality that we've seen in these posts over the years, what and that goes to anybody in the room. What happens if nothing happens? Like that's my thing with it. If people say nothing can stop what is or what is coming, and it comes, and nothing actually happens, then what was the whole point of it? I guess is what I'm getting at. And my third question is, did dog comms? I keep hearing about dog comms. Can you give me an example of a dog comm post that came to fruition and actually meant something, and who posted it, and what happened?
John McCain.
Okay, and who posted the dog comm?
They were posted 30 days before his death.
And what was it, Miles?
I'd have to go back, but there are 3 dog comms posted before John McCain's death. And then they talked about that they put him to death. He was executed. We didn't talk about that. They did. His daughter did.
Yeah, no. What I'm getting at, my big statement here is, looking at all the criminality in these Q posts, right? Which we don't really know what's going on, but what at the end there is no celebration. Like what if
Okay.
in 2028 just JD Vance gets into office?
Do you think Joe Biden is alive?
I thought he probably died years before Q even came out.
Do you think Hillary's alive?
I have no idea, but it hasn't been shown to us that she actually died. I mean, usually when any member of the military or high level government like that, you get a military funeral, right? We didn't see any of that, so we're just assuming that these people are dying. But
yeah, 5th generation warfare.
Right. Look, I'm not trying to black pill. I'm a realist. I'm like, I followed this stuff too for the last 10 years. Okay. I went down rabbit holes. I spent hours on through COVID, through biolabs, all this stuff. But then I would say within the last 8 months, I just stopped doing it. Because I started to figure out, I think this is the same concept that you hear online about feeding the trolls. They're literally feeding the anon. That's what I think of it. Keeping people in this constant loop trying to figure out puzzles and stuff. But guess what? The puzzle never leads to anything. And I hate to say it like that because I don't want to blackmail anybody, but that's the way I think politics is moving now. It's like how do you keep the younger generation? How do you keep their attention towards politics and politicians? What you got to change the game. You got to bring politics down to a level that these younger generations can understand it. You know, we got these kids living on TikTok, which are like 30-second clips of videos. We got WWF wrestling like pop shots at different politicians now. I think they're just changing politics to keep people engaged. That's it. But anyways, I talk too much.
Hey, American, I want to play this video just to get it out of the way.
Let's get Cuervo, and then we'll go to your video. How about that?
Yeah, we can do that, but I just don't want to go around in circles because everyone has their own beliefs.
Okay.
That I think things are happening very quickly and there's going to be a resolution to things, and other people, they're just done. They've checked out on this stuff.
All right, hang loose. You can play your video after Cuervo. Janet, I see your hand up, and I can't tell if you're up or not. So, okay. All right, Cuervo, you want to go? You're here, man.
Yeah, I mean, I popped up just to say I tend to agree with and divide on this one. The constant loop of this anon stuff is kind of fifth generation warfare. Tell that to New York right now, right? What we can see is that there's been all these throughout history. There's been all these iterations of communist uprisings, and what we're dealing with is the next stage of that communist infiltration of our government. It's being masqueraded using what communists do really well is they use language as their weapon. They call themselves progressive, but they're really communists, right? And they use all the soft language to get people to attract to their campaigns. And what they do also is they demonize their opponent, build up enough hate against their opponent to get people to swallow that pill of communism. That's the reality that I see. And if that's fifth level, if that's fifth level generation warfare, then I'm sorry, I don't buy into that.
All right, if I can get my mic open. All right, so Miles, you got something you want to play? Is that what you got?
Yeah, we can talk about this afterwards. It's 5 minutes and 41 seconds.
Okay, let's see what you got then.
But since since our leader brought it up, maybe people should know what it means.
All right, take it away.
Quantum computer is an advanced computer that uses the principles of quantum mechanics to perform calculations at speeds unattainable by even the top supercomputers of the modern world. To understand how a quantum computer works, imagine that you're playing a game of chess and want to predict all the possible moves your opponent might make. You can do this with a classical or regular computer. It will go through each move of your opponent one at a time until it runs through all possible moves. This process, as you can imagine, can be time-consuming. However, if you had a quantum computer, it would simulate all possible moves of your opponent at once, in a fraction of the time the classical computer took. This is similar to what a quantum computer can do in the realm of analysis and computation. Quantum computer and a classical computer are similar in some ways. Both have circuits, chips, and logic gates to process information, and they are both operated by algorithms. However, the primary difference lies in how they process information. Classical computers use binary bits, zeros and ones, representing the on or off state of a current. Quantum computers, on the other hand, use qubits, which can exist in both states simultaneously, a property known as superposition. This unique ability of qubits opens up a world of possibilities, allowing quantum computers to process information in a fundamentally different way than binary bits, and potentially revolutionize the future of technology. Let's consider the concept of superposition using an everyday example. When you flip a coin, it can show either heads or tails. But when the coin is spinning in the air, what state would you say the coin is in? Is it heads or is it tails? While it's spinning in the air, it could be argued that it's both heads and tails, correct? Similarly, a qubit can exist in both the 0 and 1 states simultaneously. A quantum computer, a system of multiple qubits, can simultaneously possess multiple states, allowing the quantum computer to process many solutions simultaneously, something a classical computer simply cannot do. This capability enables quantum computers to solve problems much faster than classical computers. The magic of quantum computers doesn't end with qubits and their multiple states. These multiple states of multiple qubits can be linked to each other, or in the language of quantum mechanics, they are entangled with each other. Entangled qubits work in a way that the operations of one qubit can influence other qubits, no matter how far apart they are. It can also influence the entire system. This allows for significantly higher computational power, something that classical computers cannot achieve. Entangled qubits function seamlessly due to a phenomenon called quantum entanglement. We have already made a dedicated video on quantum entanglement, and the link is in the description. Additionally, a quantum computer looks nothing like your regular computer or laptop. When you walk into a room housing a quantum computer, what you'll most likely notice first is large, complex-looking machinery, much like a chandelier, with golden, silver, and blue parts. Around it is a maze of wires, tubes, and other intricate components. The setup looks straight out of a sci-fi movie. Quantum computers have been in existence in various forms for several years. In fact, some tech companies already possess operational quantum computers that serve as valuable resources for software development and programming languages. Most significant advancement in quantum computing in recent years occurred in October of 2019, when Google asserted that it had achieved quantum supremacy with its quantum computer. This entailed using their specialized Sycamore processor to perform a specific type of computation much faster and more efficiently than the most powerful classical supercomputer. This demonstration of quantum supremacy validated the concept that quantum computers can indeed surpass classical computers in specific tasks by leaps and bounds, and can execute operations that classical computers cannot. This progress also prompted other companies, such as Microsoft, IBM, and several startups, to intensify their quantum research in pursuit of even greater results. Once the full potential of quantum computers is realized, it will herald a world of truly unimaginable possibilities. Quantum computers have immense computational capabilities that will greatly enhance artificial intelligence. Quantum cloud computing services have the potential to revolutionize machine learning by processing extensive amounts of data and complex calculations at unprecedented speeds. In cybersecurity, quantum computers could uphold data encryption during active use, providing robust protection. They're also poised to revolutionize medical and drug research, weather forecasting, and automobile battery technology. While it will take many years before quantum computers become mainstream and see large-scale commercial use, it doesn't seem like an exaggeration to say that quantum computers will eventually be powerful enough to not only solve complex problems, but also help you find your missing socks, predict the outcome of your next dinner date, and maybe even explain why you walked into the kitchen only to forget why you were there in the first place.
I don't know if y'all can hear me. I went in and out about 10 times there.
Okay, Janet, go ahead. Janet, you said you wanted to talk after the video. In divide, go ahead.
Is anybody talking?
I haven't heard anyone in a few minutes.
Thank you, Jane. I thought something was wrong with me. I couldn't hear anybody talking. Could you?
No, nothing. It was like, and I
Yeah, I thought it was me. So,
Ken was having trouble with his phone just a few minutes ago.
yeah, In divide's out walking somewhere. So I don't know if he just was talking to himself. I couldn't hear anything. He's going to come back up here.
just to respond to what Individe said earlier, with the whole, what if, the whole nothing can stop what is going to happen, and what if nothing happens? Well, I think that we're really sitting on a precipice civilizationally for pretty much most of the West, the U.S., Canada, Australia, Europe, uh, half of Asia. I mean, we're basically, there's civilizational changes that have to happen one way or the other, and we either, and there could be several different routes. I mean, it's not like one choice is we go to the moon and the other choice is we go to the Stone Age. I mean, there's other different routes that can happen, but no matter what, there's some kind of civilizational change that we all see and we all can sense. And it's not just because some of us are boomers and we're a little bit older in the tooth, and technology has changed. But I think that we're all kind of sitting in an area where there's pivotal things happening in history, and I don't know what that all means, but I do know that, if I look at the future and I say it's going to be horrible, then it will be. If I look at the future and I say it's in God's hands and I'm going to trust him and I'm going to continue walking forward, then that is the safest place for me to be. And that's my conclusion on that. And I hear you. I mean, I don't go to the Q boards anymore. I don't go to the research.
COVID-19 vaccine deaths. It ranges from about 470,000 from Pfizer alone up to 840,000 American deaths from the COVID-19 vaccines. We have to remember that that is rivaling the American soldier death toll of World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and the Iraq War combined.